Hey everybody, Radaman here. It's my pleasure to bring you episode 2. Episode 2, not episode 1C. So, I explained last episode that my first recording of this kind of corrupted, and unfortunately, I had to re-record. So last episode, we've been getting a lot of food poisoning. And I'm thinking I might need to move the stove indoors for the cooking. I'm not sure that that's absolutely the problem, but that might help mitigate the problem. So that's something I'm going to do. Because this food poisoning has been atrocious. I've been basically vomiting all of my calories right out of my body. And I'm guessing that this meal here is also likewise poisoned. I went from having food poisoning straight to having food poisoning again. Isn't that lovely? It really isn't. Fortunately, I can still tug along on a little bit of research very, very, very slowly. Regardless of the food poisoning. So one thing I want to get done, please don't give me food poisoning again, is get to this lovely event here. It's about 5 days round trip travel. That would make me most happy to have that silver. And I only have to kill one enemy for it, so that's basically an assassination. And I'm all for it, providing I can get there and back in one piece. Alright, we can probably turn on our grow lights again, as we are generating good power. Alright, please say that I'm recovering from this soon. So I'm researching solar power, so that when the wind dies down entirely, I at least have a minimum amount of power to keep the heaters running, without being in the red for power generation. I like to do about a 2-to-1 ratio of wind to solar. Wind obviously generates more than solar does, and more reliably, but when the wind dies down, like it does right now, it's nice to have some solar available. Because I have to turn off my grow light, which really hinders my progress making... Alright, let's get microelectronics. Making rice. Yeah, the wind is totally dead right now. As you can see, my batteries are draining away. They'd drain a lot faster if my grow light was on them. So, alright, I'm now fully recovered, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and throw another basin in. And I almost have enough steel for another basin. Alright, so the wind is kicking back up. Alright, let's go ahead and actually turn this off, turn this on, and do some cooking. I'm going to try to use the potatoes first because they're more deteriorated. Must be taken every 5 days. Alright, I'm going to start taking the drugs every 5 days, because why not? We have them. So let's go. Drug policy. We want... Let's delete some of the other policies. New policy. Every 5 days. We'll call this no sick. And we'll start now. Alright, we are becoming hypothermic. Let's get on inside. Because I'd rather not get malaria or plague. That'd be pretty ideal, avoiding that stuff. I could really use inside storage, but that's a lot of more materials. I'm still working on... Oh. Okay. Current outfit. No jackets. No dusters. Okay, that didn't make me sick. Let's cook up the rest of these potatoes before they rot. It's negative 180 out there. That's pretty bad. Hypothermia just set in. As you can see, I should have stopped ahead of time, because you cook super slow when hypothermic. Power generation kind of sucks. How to lay this out? Just maybe like that. Something like that. We still have a little bit of time until the potatoes wear out. This should be enough steel to make that solar. So let's go ahead and work on that. Please don't get food sickness. Okay, good. So this generates a considerable amount of power, honestly. Pretty decent amount. Now, we do have these meals here. I'm going to grab them before I forget and before it's winter. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Caravan. And load them into the Caravan. Then I'll load this stuff too. Wouldn't mind some wolf skin. God, it is cold out there. Why am I doing this at this hour? I don't know. I'll make it, but it is cold. I'm gonna get frostbite. When I questioned the hour, I should have stopped, because I came really close to passing out there. Let's not run that risk again. I have officially learned my lesson. Don't be stupid. Important lesson learned. Yeah, this solar power is pretty awesome. It is making up for a lot of the lack of sun. Everyone says go wind, but hey, that thing's awesome. so awesome that I'm going to make another one. Because my batteries are definitely not happy right now. Alright, I think it's time to finish cooking. Also, we're going to get some more rice. And then I actually want to try for that outpost. Providing they don't have, like, power armor. Knowing Randy, maybe they will, but... can always run away empty-handed. If I need to. No shame in that, right? That's a good place to keep the rice. In the doorway. So I want all my rice to be on the same grow cycle. So I'm just going to not so... you know, actually I'm just going to harvest early. So let's plug this back in. Alright, let's just orders harvest early. Difference of like 4 rice total. Not that big of a deal. Sow it all, and then we can rest. Or recreate. Yeah, look at this. Solar. Totally supplying the power needed for the sun lamp. That wind wasn't doing squat. Now I really have to plan how to... how to insulate my base. Because rather than add more heaters for the winter, insulating would make a lot more sense. Kind of did that caravan wrong. How many days do I have? 10 days? Oof. Alright. You only live once. Let's go for it. Form caravan. Choose route. And go for it. Off we go. Don't even have a bedroll. Shouldn't have hypothermia now. Oh, come on. Yep, there we go. No hypothermia now. Yeah, I just had to, like, get out of the cell. This cell is super cold. This cell is not. This is the only one with the permanent hypothermia. Alright, so luckily I have somewhat cheesed my base so that I can remote operate a lot of it. If I have a raider that comes in right now, I can't do anything about that, but because I don't have turrets yet. If you look at the turrets, I kind of need microelectronics first, and that takes a long time. Alright, so one more day to get there. Crossing these flat open areas of ice sheet in the late fall take a little bit of time. It would have been better if I went in summer, but the thing is, I don't have that kind of time. Whoa. I don't have that kind of time to go in summer. It's going to disappear too soon. So known threat, 1 enemy. Reward, 2,000 silver. South Siam Treaty, which I'm neutral with. I don't really think that the human raiders are going to pose much threat to me, given the fact that... man, ready harvest. Alright, let's disconnect the grow light. This rice might just idle here. Yeah, this stuff might die, actually, because it's going to be ready to harvest for too long. Oh well. Was the risk of getting 2,000 silver. I think it's worth it. So I hope my bolt action rifle and my skills as a shooter is enough. They say they're going to prepare a while. Yep, alright. You know what's defending my base right now? The cold. This raider is going to die of hypothermia far before they get to my base. Okay, so I've arrived at the outpost. The enemy is here. I don't know why I can see through the walls like that. It's not very cold here. He has a Molotov. Well, it's not going to be much of a fight. Not going to be much of a fight at all. Sorry, Mr. Molotov. So here's my silver. I'm going to grab his Molotovs too. Actually, pick up. What about your gear? You have a flak vest? Let's strip you. Are you any good? No. You're okay, but you're not great. Cloth duster, Portook. Sure, why not? Alright, let's see what this base has. Alright, orders, claim. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Go there. Ooh la la. Alright. Have a nice sleep. What do I bring? Plasteel and uranium and gold? Can't carry it at all, so I'll have to choose what I can carry. But I'll sleep in a, I guess, oh, really? I could have been in a so much nicer bed. Oh, well, whatever. Alright, let's pack up. Let's reform Caravan. We'll take the components. We'll take the plasteel. And we'll take the gold. And maybe uranium over jade. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's worth taking the clothing over the uranium. Okay, choose route, go home, accept. Alright, now it'll take a little while, but hey, that was worth it. For 2,000 silver, definitely. Once we get comms up, we'll be able to trade for a lot of resources too. Plus, we have this giant thing of silver up here if we ever get someone that can mine. At the moment, I don't really have anyone that can mine. My starter pawn sucks at it, so having her do it be kind of a waste of time and energy and effort and all that. So I'm not gonna bother. Not with her, at least. Look at all that stuff. Flak Vest is going to be pretty good for fights, too. That will keep me nice and safe. Hopefully safer than whatever his name was. I don't remember his name that I killed. We might be able to get home in time before this stuff spoils or whatever it does. 1.9 more days. We're going to make it just before the onset of true winter, which is good. Because true winter is going to be very, very cold. It already is cold. It's negative 223. I don't know what my record was for the first time doing the sea ice survival, but I bet I break the record. No, maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe one of you remembers. I don't have that kind of memory, so... How was your raid there? So as you can see, the bodies out here, they do not decay very quickly. They stick around a long time. Alright, so we're still just a day and a half away, a little less. Our mass is gradually going down as we are eating, but we have still plenty left to eat. Definitely worth that mission. So as I said, the previous mission rules are you can do missions, but you can't exploit the resources of the mission area. So if there were, on that ice sheet where I did the mission, if there was minerals to mine, like steel, uranium, gold, plasteel, compacted components, or if there was trees to cut, that would be against the rules. But taking resources, raiding resources, not against the rules, if that makes sense. So you can't go and just like start mining away on some other cell, because that makes the game a little too easy, right? If you used a long-range mineral scanner, you could just get all the resources you need for the ship a lot faster. The whole point of this playthrough is to make it very, very difficult. So our mood is really low right now, because we're wreck-starved. Well, we'll get home soon, and I'll queue up a bunch of recreation. I don't want to have a mental break, though. We're just about in that minor major break threshold. Minor breaks can even be just as fatal as major breaks. So, let's go ahead and force her into recreation. You are forced to have fun. Please don't have a mental break. That would be very sad for me. So now, as you can see, these solar generators aren't cranking out quite the juice they used to, but it's still pretty good. So this vest here, moves us a little slower, but it's so negligible, I think it's worth it. Ooh. So some ship chunks. I think basically it's winter now. I don't think I'm going to do ship chunks because I don't need the resources that badly, and that's kind of far away. I've been doing so well, I don't want to freeze to death. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Alright, getting this beautiful, beautiful rice. Or botching. How about if we had a little bit more light? Alright, so this rice is going to spoil soon. Let's cook it up. I really need storage space. That is my next big goal. 17-year-old music lover. 2 lynx wandering your... Yeah, there's no way I'm taking 2 lynx on. Sorry, buddy. You're on your own. Now, if it combines stacks... Nope, that's not the intended effect I had in mind. There we go, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, got some frostbite out of that. Whoopsie. Alright, it's super, super, super cold. I really have to consider double insulating the base. So, with that in mind, something like that is what I had in mind. And then putting doors here. Actually, something more like that, with doors there and there. And that will open some space up for benches and whatnot. Alright, we're losing too much power too quickly. Speaking of power, let's start smelting for the double installation. No, actually, hold on. Orders. Move the plants there. Slightly changing my mind. Shrink this stockpile. so it fits. I don't want to work on too much of it while I'm hypothermic. I don't mind doing a quick run out for some slag with a little bit of hypothermia, but I don't want to spend too much time out there. So I'm actually going to lock that right now. No, well that works. Oh boy, it is so cold. Yeah, the plants are struggling to grow due to the temperature. So this is obviously top priority now. They are kind of growing. Now, I may also want a door back there. As you can see, I'm getting pretty cold, so I'm botching stuff. Yeah, they're just not growing. Let's turn this lamp off. Wait for the double insulation. I'm walling this up, honestly, faster than I thought I would. Alright, we're getting a little too cold. Point where we're botching stuff, so let's get back inside. This will also prevent our resources from deteriorating. Because we'll have inside stockpile. I still need to haul that silver in. Let's deconstruct this, give us a shorter path. Okay, let's warm up. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. I don't think I've let anything important deteriorate. We haven't gotten any food poisoning anytime lately. Alright, let's keep hauling and hauling and hauling. Rice plant died because of cold. Yeah, I know. It's friggin' cold. I'm working on it. We'll get the rest soon. Obviously, the solar is not really helping during nighttime hours anymore. Let's go ahead and disconnect all that. We don't really need it on. Peace talks. That's cool. The chance of them just ambushing me is high enough that no, I won't be attending. Please don't botch too much. Nice. Alright, once we lose our hypothermia, we can slag up some more. Alright, I'm going to form a quick caravan. Grab all the slag in one go. Cuts down on travel time. And 60 more steel should be enough to wall this up. Because what is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yep. 60 will do it. And there's plenty of, not plenty, but there's a decent amount of slag and ship parts and things left out there too. Oh, I can't wait to be double insulated. Alright, let's work on that wall. No botching. Alright, let's warm up first. And we are officially indoors. So what will happen is this area should warm up and the center should warm up. As you can see, the temperature is pushing up and up and up. There's a few more things I want to do. But I can wait. Yep, so it is getting, it's not super warm inside yet, but it's definitely getting warmer. It's not quite as brutal because this secondary inside area is warming up. Now everything's not deteriorating either, so we can actually have some true and honest storage. Alright, so one more caravan. Accept and choose route and accept and confirm and zoom in. Alright. Load, 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 load. Negative 240. Alright, that's as much as we can carry. No solar flares so far. Much to my surprise, honestly. Now, although it's counterintuitive, I'm going to build a little bit more walls out like that. Rectangles are a little bit more efficient. That way I can also... where are you going? No, don't do the slag now. You're too cold. Move this door a little bit. Have a little bit more room. Maybe put the stockpile for the simple meals back here. Alright, so the inside of this is not quite warm enough. Obviously, I don't need the medicine here anymore. Put the slag back out there, making the base a little bit more spacious. What is this all connected to? It's all connected to the correct spot. That's good. Alright. So we're midwinter, and it is actually just about warm enough to start growing again. Let's see. Temperature. Growth rate is full. That is the beauty of insulation right there. Is 4 heaters are enough to heat up this whole area once we have a little bit of insulation. Alright, checking my health. Alright, let's get some more slag. I need to be careful not to venture out too far. I think this slag is obtainable, but anything beyond that point is probably fatal. Or just not worth the risk. So I'm already seriously... Come on, stop that. Oh, Jesus. Why are you being like this? I'm already seriously hypothermic. Okay, so we have 2 new slag to slag up. Having some backup steel is never a problem. Because at this point, I kind of feel like power generation, like maybe another wind turbine would be the next big thing. Alright, so what's still out here? There's this slag. There's some dead raiders with their... There's this slag. Okay. Right now I need to attend to my needs. Am I bored of... Nope. I can definitely dex play. Three types of recreation is recommended. Well, I can't really afford a chessboard, so that will have to wait. Batteries are getting a little low. We are managing to keep the temperature. Let me rearrange this once again. Managed to keep the temperature pretty reasonable in this winterized base. Which is exciting. So this is... let's definitely make sure that that's turned off. I'm glad the wind is fully going right now. Otherwise that'd be a lot more bad than it was. A lot more bad. Man, I am a master of the English language. Let's check out home zones. Do I have any errant home zones? I really don't. That's good. We're about a third of the way through December. I really could use one more heater. Okay, these batteries are still hurting. It's too bad there's not like a bike or something that you can manually pedal for power. I'm sure there's mods that add that, but I'm surprised that Tainted didn't include that. We're definitely working well to keep our mood up. Unfortunately, we just lost all wind, which means the batteries are tanking. Okay, the wind's picking back up. Nice. What I don't have is I don't have an emergency area for I don't have an emergency area for solar flares, and although it is a massive amount of my remaining wood, I'm going to prep solar flare emergency areas. Oh. Silver with a lot more slag. Way too far to go in the current season. That will be pretty awesome. When I need it. So I have 3 spare wood. So basically, if I have a solar flare, I can put a campfire in this spot here. And close these doors, which I'll normally keep open just for ease of movement. And that should allow for this spot to warm up from one campfire. Pretty easily, in fact. I'm just going to start hauling the individual slag chunks. Come on, wind. You've really been toying with me. I haven't been able to grow anything for the longest time because we're just not generating enough power. We need to be generating an excess of about 3,000 for me to turn that stuff back on. We're at only 1,800. Come on, wind, kick up. Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, now we're generating the power. Guess I just had to complain about it. Alright, let's go haul this. And then there's what? 2 ship chunks. And then this slag that's just a little too far. Yeah, that slag would be fatal. I'm not even going to bother with that slag. Ah, no, I could get it. Quite a little humble base. Alright, so we are flirting around the temperature we need to be. But hey, we're in the middle of the winter and it's negative 124 or 224 out. Nope. Let's make sure all of everything is drying from, yeah, the cables, not the batteries. Alright, the wind just died, so goodbye light. One thing I'm going to do is put a veggie stockpile here. So this will be raw food of vegetarian type. And that way we'll be able to cook a little bit faster when it's time to cook. So we have the potential for 80 plus, so 96 steel here out of the 100. Yeah, I'm going to offer safety. Okay, so this allows us to name our faction, which is Sea Ice Survivors, and the base, Polar Base. Real original. No dumb labor? Yeah, you're getting banished. I just invited them in because, hey, look, I was right. Toques and parkas. They're coming in with some good stuff. I'm surprised, oh, cargo pods. Oh, 1 stack of meals. Okay. Negative 95, negative 88. Yeah, they're pretty well protected from the heat, or cold rather, which means they're not really going to get all that hypothermic. We've already made 1 hit. Alright, you, my dear, are going to die. Because I used you in a very mean way. I'll bury you, though. I don't want to destroy the parka too badly. There we go. Toppled over. And strip. That is pretty much what I was going for. Get another set of gear that I don't have to craft out of that wool. Okay, so now let's go ahead and form Caravan to bring everything in. Hell, we even get a little flak vest out of this. I might have actually kept the pawn. Not that I really have the steel for food production, because I need more hydroponic tables. I think 5 tables are enough for 2 pawns. 2 tables under the most ideal situation is enough for 1 pawn. But I'm not really in an ideal situation. I'm kind of having to keep the grow light off for too often because I don't have enough power generation. So this is good parka, good for 110. What is our parka? Our parka's 110 as well. Okay, so not much different. Alright, I did say I was going to bury her. That was not a lie. She was technically a colonist, albeit for a very short period of time. She'll get buried eventually. Pi, the engineer, however, won't. Ooh, I switched pants. Double-stranded pants, making me a little bit more bulletproof. Was there another pawn that I... Let's go to history. Statistics, no, graph. For population. No, this was the first time I got a pawn. Yeah, because obviously it allowed me to name my colony. So, duh. Alright, I realize that we're not really generating power, so this is going to have to turn off real soon. I'm going to use some of the power to work at the smelter. Got another raid. They're not going to make it to me, they're going to freeze to death. Honestly, I think my base would be warmer if I kept these doors closed. So I'm going to do that. Alright, that's all the local slag. So after this smelting, I'm going to tell Serra to stop. Or really, I'm just going to turn off the bench. Alright, we're a little stressed, but we're bored of all the recreation that we have available to us. Alright. Making some hard decisions here. I am going to put in a steel chest table, which is just about all of my steel that I have from all that smelting. Knowing that I have far more steel available to me soon. This is 140 steel just sitting there. And I have 60 more steel here and 60 more steel here. 120, 140. You know, I have 260 steel out there. I just don't have access to it due to the cold. I probably can... probably can grab this steel. Yep, yeah, I'll be able to grab that stuff. I don't want to travel any further than that, though. Where'd this raider go? Oh, there you are. You came with a revolver. Yep, so that's about the limit, clearly. I got up to 50%, so I really can't go any further. Really, truly. That is the limit. Alright. That's good to know. So at least this chest table kicks the quality of the room up to dull. Oh, great. Now my mood's really terrible. Well, at least I'm addressing my needs. The thing is, I am up on my hour, so I'm going to call this quits. I'm actually really proud that in 2 hours I got a base this good. I fully acknowledge that most of the quality of this base, the reason why it's so great is I got extraordinarily lucky with Randy Random. He was very, very good to me. I do want to say, however, that this is like my 15th attempt or so at this. A lot of my really, really early attempts were just I botched some construction job really early on, and it was like, well, I might as well start over because I only have 20 minutes invested, or 10 minutes invested, or 5 minutes invested. I wanted to have a really strong first hour because after having that really strong first hour, you really do get the ball rolling. And I had a very strong first hour with all the wool I was given. I'm saying that because I'm sure a lot of you are having trouble surviving for your first day or few days. And I wanted to let you know that, yeah, it took me several attempts to survive that first day. But now that I'm well set up, I don't run the risk of freezing to death. And I've thought of a lot of redundancies, having multiple types of power, having multiple batteries, so if one breaks down, I'm not dead. Having a little room that I can heat with wood in case of a solar flare. Having a smelter to allow me to break down slag. There's a lot of little things that allows me to continue playing in the case of bad events. So if you have any comments for me, feedback of any sort, whatever, just drop me a line. And I'm looking forward to hearing your stories, like I said before. So any of your attempts, whether they're successful or hilariously failing or whatever it might be, let me know, because that's why I do these community challenges, because I like to sort of, hear about how other people play RimWorld. Because, it's a single-player game. It's one of those games where you get into some hijinks, and it's fun to share those hijinks with others. And I hope you tune in next time, because I do this for you guys. All right, everybody, adios.